pay attention. I don't want to have to do this again. Alright, is this about a 6-inch difference?
That's more than 6 inches.
Alright, let it be more.
No, that's not funny. What's the matter with you?
Oh, calm down. Nobody's hurt, are they?
No, nobody's hurt.
Alright, take a look at it again. Down and in. That's how I would stab a taller man, and that's how it was done. Take a look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
Down and in. I guess there's no argument.
Did you or stab a man?
Of course not.
Did you?
You don't be silly.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Where did you get all your information about how it's done?
It's just common sense.
Have you ever seen a man stabbed?
No.
All right, let me ask you a question. The boy was an experienced knife fighter. He was going to be sent to reform school for knifing someone. Isn't that so?
That's right.
Now take a look at this. Doesn't it seem like an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for?
Wait a minute. What's the matter with me? Let me see that knife.
Have you ever seen a knife fight?
Yes, I have.
In the movies?
In my backyard. On my stoop. In the vacant lot across the street from where I lived. Too many of them. Switch knives came with the neighborhood where I lived. But anyways, anyone who has ever used a switch knife would never have stabbed downward. You don't use a switch knife like that. You use it underhanded.
Then the boy couldn't have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
I suppose it is conceivable that the boy could have made the wound, but it's not likely. Not if he'd ever had any experience with switch knives. And we know the kid had experience with switch knives.
I don't believe that.
Neither do I. You're giving us a bunch of garbage.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
What about you?
Listen, I'll tell you something. I'm getting a little sick of this whole thing already. We're getting nowhere fast. Let's break it up and go home.
Before we decide anything more, I'd like to try and pull this together.
Oh, this should be good.
He has a right. Let him go ahead. Do you want me to time this one too?
Let's hear it. I'm an advertiser. I'm used to the big shots pulling things together. Let's chip up a few shots to see if any of them land on the green.
All right, I want all of you to look at this logically and consistently.
We have. Guilty.
I want to know, is the kid smart? Or is he dumb?
What do you mean?
This is a boy who's been sent to reform school for knife fighting. On the night of the murder, he bought a knife, a switch knife. It would then take a very stupid man to go and murder a man, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate with that kid.
I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if he were dumb, then why did he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand.
To murder someone must take great emotion, great hatred, right? And at the moment of the murder, he would handle the knife as best he could, and someone who had been trained to handle a knife would handle it underhand. Someone who had not been trained would go overhand. But the kid is being very smart. Everyone knows he's an experienced knife fighter. So he's smart enough at that moment to make the kind of wound that an amateur would make, overhand. That man is a smart man. Smart enough to wipe fingerprints away. Perhaps even smart enough to wait until an L train is going by in order to cover the noise. Now, is the kid smart, or is the kid dumb?
Hey now, wait a minute.
Well, the woman across the L tracks. She saw the murder through the L train. Therefore, someone in that L train could have seen the murder, too.
A possibility, but no one did that we know of.
It would take an awfully dumb man to take that chance. Doing the murder as the train went by.
Exactly, a dumb man, a very stupid man, a man swept by emotion. Probably he heard nothing. He probably didn't even hear the train coming. And whoever did murder the father did as well as he could. The boy is dumb enough to do everything to associate himself with the switch knife murder. But at the same instant, he's smart enough to make the kind of wound that would lead us to suspect someone else did it. Overhand, remember? But also at that same instant, he is dumb enough to do the murder as an L train is going by. But a moment after the murder, is smart enough to wipe fingerprints away. To say this boy is guilty, you have to say he is dumb from 8 o'clock till about midnight, then he's smart for 1 second, only be dumb for a few more seconds, to become smart once again, and then he becomes stupid. So stupid he can't think of a good alibi. Now, is the kid smart, or is the kid dumb? To say this boy is guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. There is doubt, doubt, doubt.
I guess I hadn't thought of that.
And the old man downstairs, on the stand, he swore. It was 15 seconds. He insisted on 15 seconds. We all agree it must have been closer to 40 seconds.
Does the old man lie half the time, and then does he tell the truth the other half of the time?
Exactly. For the boy to be guilty, he must be stupid and smart and stupid and smart and so on, but also for the boy to be guilty, the old man downstairs must be telling the truth half the time, but the other half is lying. You can reasonably doubt.
I'm sold on reasonable doubt. I think I am too. I wanted more talk, and now I've had it.
I want another vote.
All right. It seems another vote is called for. I guess the quickest way is a show of hands. Anyone object? Okay. Those voting not guilty, raise your hands. None. And those voting guilty. 3. The vote is 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I don't understand you people. How can you believe this kid is innocent? Look, you know how these people lie. I certainly don't have to tell you. And let me tell you something. They don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. Look, these people are drinking and BAM! Someone's lying in the gutter. No one's blaming them. That's how they are. You know what I mean. Violence! Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Hey, where are you going? Look, these people are drinking and fighting all the time. Somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Okay, so there are a few good things about them. Look, I am the first to say that. I've known a few who are pretty decent, but that's the exception. Most of them, it's like they have no feelings. Wait, where are you going? I'm trying to speak my piece, and you, listen to me. They are no good. There's not one of them who's any good. And take it from me. This kid on trial? Well, don't you know about them? I'm trying to tell you something. Listen to me.
If you open your mouth again, I'll split your skull.
I was only trying to tell you. Let's all sit down now.
Now, I believe that this man is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I'll tell you why. I think the most damning evidence is the testimony of the woman across the street. She claims that she saw the murder committed.
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned, that is the most important testimony.
All right, let's go over her testimony. What exactly did she say?
I can recount it accurately. The woman said that she went to bed at about 11 o'clock that night. Laying down, she could see straight out her window into the boy's window. She tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to sleep. At about 12:10, she turned over to look through the passing L train and saw the boy stab his father. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is an unshakable testimony.
You're right. That is the entire case right there.
That's my feeling. I do not deny the validity of this man's arguments. But shall we say that on one side of the tracks there is doubt, but on the other, what can you say? The woman, she saw it.
Does anyone know what time it is? My phone just died and I don't have my glasses.
10 minutes of 6.
You don't suppose they let us go home in minutes in the morning? I've got a kid with bronchitis.
Not a chance.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses?
Not really.
Oh.
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
Well, what do you all do when you wake up at night and want to know what time it is?
I put my glasses on, I look at the clock, lie in bed and wait for the clock to chime. My father gave it to me when me and my husband married. It was even 10 years before we even had a place to put it.
You wear glasses to bed.
Of course not. No one wears glasses to bed.
The woman who testified that she saw the murder, she wore glasses. What about her?
Did she wear glasses?
Of course, the woman wore bifocals. I remember this very clearly. They looked quite strong.
That's right. Bifocals, she never took them off.
say she was not wearing glasses in bed, and I don't think she would put them on to casually glance out the window. She testified that murder took place the instant that she looked out and the lights went out a split second later. She didn't have time to put them on then. Now, perhaps she honestly thought she saw the boy murder his father. I say, she only saw a blur.
Well, how do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted. How does he know all of these things?
Is there still anyone who does not think there's a reasonable doubt?
I will always wonder. But there's a doubt.
I still think he's guilty.
Does anyone else?
No. I'm convinced now. There is a doubt.
You're alone.
11 votes not guilty, 1 guilty.
I don't care if I'm alone. I have a right.
Yes, you have a right.
Well, I think he's guilty. What more do you want?
Your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We're waiting to hear them again. We have time.
Listen, you're the girl. You made all of the arguments. You can't turn now. A guilty man is about to walk free. He has got to die. Stay with me.
I'm sorry. I'm convinced now. There is a doubt.
We're waiting.